Jordan, last week, right as we went
Tonight,
off the air,
last week tonight.
last week tonight, right as we went off the air, Jordan, there was a big announcement that we've been friggin' campaigning for since we started this friggin' show, Jordan. They finally announced Xenoverse 3.
Let's go take a look at me. I was born to be and I know that's destiny. Look at me speeding with the spotlight. Catch me if you can. Watch me glitter like a galaxy. Every smile I bring to you. There's sparkle in my flow, untouchable. Cause you know I'm the one. My rhythm here, the beat, cool looks, my voice so divine. Dual perfection. Is this for real? Open your mind. Hey! Feel the disharmony. I know how it feels. My new song's out. Hope you like it.
Holy shit! I can't believe they did that.
Officially, because
Officially.
they had the teaser trailer out for
Yeah,
the
that we were like, this
1000
is
or whatever.
definitely a
We
trailer
were
for.
like, there's no way this isn't gonna be Xenoverse 3, right?
There's
Like
no
it's
way. It's no, and it
and it
turns out it was
was.
Xenoverse 3. But as Jordan put it, it just kind of looks like it's a completely different game with Xenoverse slapped onto it.
Well, there's certainly a lot of
Apart from the
there's a
trailer
lot
having the Content City music.
there's a lot of things about it that make me go like, okay, well, there's things which are missing. Xenoverse is about the time nest and the time like
Yeah,
and
supposedly this is
Trunks.
now a
So
different city.
So where's Trunks? Are we not going to be doing the thing where we go back and we stop? Because that was part of what made me like Xenoverse is them having the alternate scenes that you had to stop from happening.
Well,
Toa messing
I
with
mean, this is the
time.
question of, is Bulma 200 years old? Because
Or
Bulma's.
are they gonna do a thing where they're like, oh, I guess what I'm gonna say is this gonna be, and this will be interesting to see, um, timeline wise, are we in the world of Daima?
I
Are
don't
we
know.
continuing the timeline of like instead of
What we
like
do know.
yeah, but let's theorize here, right? Because if we are
Well, before we theorize on what we
if we
don't know, we
no
need.
no because I want to talk about Bulma specifically.
But
Um
it's important to
because
mention, though, that this.
no, but before we do, because if this takes place in the world of Daima, in Daima, there's the bugs that they had, and one of the ones that is like for every bug you eat, it stops you from aging for like 5 years or something like
Right.
that. So if she's been eating those, maybe that's why she's still alive.
So this takes place in the year in the age 1000, several thousand years after the end of Dragon Ball. And well, also as people point out that perhaps they're constantly wishing to have, but also people are making assumptions. You assume that's Bulma. They never actually say that that's Bulma.
No,
That
no,
could be.
from what I understand, they have confirmed that that's
They
Bulma.
have confirmed that that's Bulma. Okay, because I was gonna say it could be a descendant that has Bulma's voice.
No. From what I understand, it's been officially confirmed that that's
Also,
Bulma.
if this is Xenoverse, no, interesting. There's a official description. Guided into the ranks of the Great Saiyan Squad, you'll fight along allies as events there begin to take shape. The game combines an epic story-driven RPG experiences that will take Dragon Ball fans on an unforgettable, action-packed journey. So I don't know. I guess this could just be like she's a Xeno Bulma and she's been pulled from the timeline. We don't know if it's Xenoverse involves
Could
time
be.
travel.
But yeah, it's interesting to me that at least as of yet, in the trailer, we haven't seen Trunks.
No,
We
but
we haven't
they
we
did
haven't seen the Supreme Kai of Time.
they did confirm though that the character the original character that he is Goku's descendant and his name is Brett.
Hmm,
Like like
interesting.
like bread. Brett.
Interesting. Now, is that the one that we make, or is that the one that the brown hair one or
The
whatever
brown haired
that we
one.
see in the trailer?
Yeah, the brown haired
Okay,
one.
so our
Yeah.
friend,
The idea
basically.
is that your custom character is his partner.
Okay, yeah, okay, that makes sense.
I'm okay with that. I
Um,
like the notion of it's like they have a little watch and it's like Kamen Rider style. It gives them the powers of the Dragon Ball characters. I think that's fun. I like the fact that there's an in-story explanation for where they get the Dragon Ball character powers from. I think that's fun. I think that's a fun idea.
Yes, my big thing. So there's two questions which I'm interested.
It's funny that they
I'm
explain him
interested in
learning the Great Saiyan in
is
question too. I thought that was funny.
um is there because I know there's one more DLC coming out for Xenoverse 2. I'm interested to know if that will set up Xenoverse 3 in any
Probably,
way.
yeah, probably. Yeah, but it'll be interesting to see if they finally stop supporting Xenoverse 2
Well,
after
again,
10 years.
I know that that's the last DLC. It's because they've made a big deal about it being the final thing for
After
Xenoverse
20
2.
long years.
Um,
Finally, the
but
end of Xenoverse 2. Jeez, man.
um,
End of an era.
yeah, I just I'm really I'm hoping that they keep the time travel stuff in.
Yeah. I just my curiosity peaks. I'm like, what pushed them to finally announce and do a Xenoverse 3? Like the gravy train was running on Xenoverse 2. They had no reason to, unless Xenoverse 3 is gonna have more of a focus on the MMO elements. It's really weird because they kept trying to turn Xenoverse 2 into Dragon Ball Online. Like that was their entire desire out of that game's post game existence, was to slowly and progressively turn it into Dragon Ball Online. And so I'm surprised that they
Still,
haven't just gone full bore MMO. Maybe because MMOs aren't popular or as sustainable as they were back in the day. Like, really think about it.
I
What is a
I
major MMO that people play that's like a major one?
there's a Final Fantasy one,
Do
which is
people
like on consoles and stuff.
do people play, but like in the way that we used to play like World of
Well, I
Warcraft, where
mean,
it's like
nothing is like World of Warcraft.
well,
Nothing
no, but
has
there
been like
were
World of Warcraft, but I know that it
World
like
of
it's
Warcraft
still
isn't even like World of Warcraft anymore, though. What I mean is like the big community based MMORPG.
yeah. The only one that I know of really is there's a Final Fantasy one.
Really interesting.
Um,
Interesting.
but I don't. Again, there's it's not like World of Warcraft. Nothing is like World of Warcraft.
World of
So
Warcraft isn't even like World of Warcraft anymore.
exactly. Um,
No one plays that game anymore.
I mean, it really depends on what you constitute as an MMO, because like there's a lot of that. Technically, there's a number of things like there for a while there, anyways. There was
A purely
uh
online, non multiplayer experience, I guess.
non-multiplayer,
All right, so purely online, sorry, non single player is what I meant to say. Non single player
non-single player.
experience.
I mean, there's Destiny.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
You
there's
said that
still
wasn't
there's.
an MMO though.
But yeah, but you said it was.
I mean, it
So,
is. It definitely is. I don't know if do people still play Destiny.
oh,
Yeah.
um,
But yeah, I'm surprised
there's
that this is focusing so hard on a single
technic
player experience. I'm happy that
technically
it's got
there. I
an
mean,
original
there is
story.
still WoW, and they do still make DC Universe Online.
The most exciting part of this is that it's an original story and an original character. Like that, I would quite honestly ditch the custom character. I'd play an entire game where you just play as Brett. That's a purely single player story with an original story.
Well, I mean, the last two have been purely original
Yeah, I mean,
stories.
not
So,
purely. There's still an element of you go back and you fight the Saiyan saga, and then the Cell saga, and then the Android saga, and then the Frieza saga. There's still an element of that. Like, I'm talking completely original. There's no references to prior storylines. It's entirely 100% original story.
no, I don't want that. I want to go back in time.
No, I know,
That's what
but
that's what I like
no,
about
I'm
those
just talking a
games.
game generally, where you play as Brett,
Sure, but that's we're
and
talking
it's
about this
no,
game,
I know, but I'm
and
saying I would play an entire game where it's a purely original story, single player experience where you just play as Brett.
I wouldn't because at that point it's not a Dragon Ball game.
Well, sure it is. It takes place in the same universe, and it takes place in the future, and you have like, I mean,
No,
I wouldn't do 1,000 years. I'd maybe do a bit closer to regular timeline, and then you have like old versions of the character. Like, not to say you don't involve the other characters. We just don't do the Saiyan saga or the Frieza saga or the Cell saga or the Buu saga. Primarily, we don't do any of the sagas from Dragon Ball Z at all, and we just
I
do.
mean, I would make a game where you find a way to continue the story from the beginning of Super, and then include things like Daima, include things like GT, and make that the things that
Or
you focus on.
I mean, I've always pushed this 3D adventure game where it's Dragon Ball and you play as Goku.
That'd be dope.
That would be fucking
That's
rad.
to me that's a criminally underutilized thing.
Right, right,
As for
right.
this one, yeah, I'm gonna be watching it with interest because as of yet, just like what I've seen from this trailer and stuff, it feels less like Xenoverse 3 and more like a completely different game that they wanted to make that they've slapped Xenoverse 3
That's
onto.
absolutely what it looks like. It does not,
Um,
because there's no need. They had no reason to do Xenoverse 3. Xenoverse 2
I,
was chugging
I don't
along.
know. I don't know exactly why, but for some reason it makes me think of Digimon Time Story, just in terms of aesthetics.
I can see why you'd say that.
Um,
I can see why you'd
but
say that.
I'm definitely interested. Like I've heard that I don't know if this was true, but I've heard there's a playable one of the playable races that they're adding is the demon race,
That would be
which
fun.
which would, if they're doing the time
Give me
travel
the
stuff,
ability to turn
would
Super Saiyan
tell me
4.
that they're gonna have a scenario where we go back in the it's Daima stuff.
I want all of the Super Saiyans. I want the custom character to finally get Super Saiyan 4 because he does
I
not
want
have Super
them.
Saiyan 4 yet.
I want them. I think they touched on it in one of the DLCs, but I want them to do more GT stuff. I want
Yep.
them to do Daima stuff. I want more scenarios from Super.
Well, to be fair,
Like
they never fleshed out the stuff from Super because you could tell that they were always nervous too because they knew that they were eventually going to be doing Xenoverse 3. So all of the Super stuff feels half-assed. Or
yeah,
the random storylines that are just mashing characters together. Like there's one where it
uh,
was like Cell and Frieza that was really weird. Yeah, post game
that,
Xenoverse stuff got weird.
I wouldn't mind if they had some more different variations of the what ifs.
Yeah,
Um,
just do a
so
full what
like
if game.
go back in time and make it so like yeah, instead of Gohan being the one who beats Cell, now it's Krillin.
But
What's the
like,
fallout from that?
I don't really need to do it a third time where it's like I go to the Cell Saga, and I have to fight, and I have to start to have the Cell Saga. Like so much of Xenoverse 2 was they just did Xenoverse 1 again, and like I want something different. Like yeah, okay, I'm all fine with time travel, but like let's get original with this. Let's get creative. Do something different. Don't just do the same thing again. Because if you're gonna do the same thing again, just do more Xenoverse 2 DLC. If we're gonna finally do Xenoverse 3, let's get creative
Well, I
here.
mean, right, but the thing that makes it better is the reason why I wouldn't be opposed to going back to some of that stuff is because let me finish is because the difference between Xenoverse 1 and 2 was the engine. I want a new engine, a better fighting style, a better, more advanced AI, smarter AI.
No.
I want better written scenarios. I want better written like why we're going back, what we're solving. I want different things.
Yeah, no,
So
I really don't need to do the Cell Saga again. I don't need to do the Sand Saga again. Don't need to do Frieza again. Don't need any of that stuff. Get rid of
I
it.
do. Like if we did the Cell Saga or not the Cell Saga, the Saiyan Saga, but instead of like Frieza or instead of Nappa being Vegeta's partner, now it's Frieza. Like I want it to be
No interest.
so vastly different.
That holds literally no interest to me. We've already explored every possible character, every possible angle
No, we haven't.
for a thing that it's just no. I don't need to see a rejumbled version of the same
I
thing.
don't want characters that I don't know.
I
So
want new characters.
I don't.
I want them to really
But
explore.
again, I do in so far of the fact of like
I want
I
new
want one of the
characters.
major focuses to be Super, and I want them to go beyond where the show ended. So I
Yeah.
want the Morrow arc, I want the Granola arc.
Yeah, no Dragon Ball Z stuff. Stop doing Dragon Ball Z stuff. I
I don't
don't
mind. I don't mind if they do Dragon Ball
no.
Z stuff, but
Cut it.
they have to make major
Cut
changes.
it. Get rid of it. Get rid of it. I'm
Major
not
changes.
saying like
Also, I would um instead of doing like where they always do where they start with Raditz, go earlier. Do
yeah,
Dragon Ball.
yeah, do something different. Do some,
Have it be where
cut
Toa shows
just
up when Bulma and Goku are supposed to
like
meet
hey man, if you do
and
a
change it maybe change it so that like Goku wasn't there so then Bulma got the
um
Dragon Ball and like the
like
changes from there
if you
like
have it where like Cell shows up and he helps King Piccolo, okay, I'm into that. But no, I don't have any interest, any even the
again I
slightest
do but it has to be
remotest
something major
bit of interest in exploring any possible different scenario out of the Cell Saga or the Raditz. No,
or like
don't care.
another one that would be interesting it like again I want major changes so like um Vegeta shows up and he's partnered with not Bardock um Turles
Yeah, no.
stuff like that.
Could care absolutely less. Like,
Yeah, well, it's not always about what you want, Justin.
don't get rid of it. Get rid of it. Don't waste our time with the Cell. Don't do another retelling of the Cell Saga. Don't reanimate Goku turning Super Saiyan for the 100th time. Don't do any of that. Cut it.
I
Get
disagree.
rid of it. Gut it. Don't need it. We've seen it.
I disagree.
So many times. It's boring.
I disagree.
How can you watch Goku turn Super Saiyan for the 100th fucking time? It's the same shit.
I can if they change it.
Yeah, but no, there's no matter.
The point
of
of these games is the point of these is always supposed to be Toa and Mirez or whoever go in and fucking change what's happened. Yeah. And so I want major. I don't want minor changes. I want major changes.
Don't want it.
Huge changes.
Don't need it.
I essentially want and like that. That's what these games are always set up like. But I want. You remember the fun that you had when you watched Dragon Ball Heroes? That's what I want in game form.
Yeah. No. Yes, but other parts of the franchise don't. Again,
I want it all.
I don't need. In my opinion, 10-year moratorium.
Like this is one where
on anything Cell Saga.
This is one where it's coming
Saga.
out on the PlayStation 5 instead of like what Xenoverse 2 came out on the PlayStation 3, I think.
4.
Originally.
4.
I'm pretty sure it was 3.
Not 3. It was 4.
Maybe the first one was on 3. Anyways, even still, like these games are capable of being significantly bigger. I want everything.
Absolutely.
I want to start with Dragon Ball. I want to go all the way through Z. I want to go to GT. I want to go to Super Beyond. I want to have every possible thing that you can add into this. If I were in charge
of this franchise, 10-year moratorium on seeing the Cell Saga Vegeta armor.
You're gonna be disappointed then because you're never gonna get that
10-year moratorium. I just it's not we it's again we've plumbed the depths of that part of the franchise so much.
It's great that you feel that way. To do there. The thing is though, Justin, is you're the outlier in this.
But I'm not.
You are.
Like I don't need another game where I have to fight Vegeta and Nappa.
That's great. You're the outlier. You're the only. Get rid of it. You're the rare person who feels like that.
So overdone. No one needs to see the Vegeta and Goku do the Saiyan Saga fight for Vegeta.
Again, no, not unless they change things. Yeah, that's my point, Justin. Yes, they will. They could.
No, they're not. They're not going to change it enough for it to be interesting. There's going to be a. Assuming that they go there would be like a minor change. They've already done. There's like 55 parallel quests of them doing moderate and minor changes to those sagas. It's not interesting anymore. Like there's no what combination of characters could show up and fight together that would be interesting. Like there isn't one. None of them. Turles and Vegeta. No, it's the same dynamic as Nappa. There's nothing about that dynamic that would be remotely interesting. Now, if you did something to fuck with something in Dragon Ball Super, okay, yeah, you have my interest. If you fuck with Dragon Ball Daima, yeah, okay, you have my interest. If you fuck with Dragon Ball, sure. The only saga that I will take in Dragon Ball Z that is criminally underutilized in terms of what ifs is the Buu saga. Nobody ever does anything remotely interesting with the Buu saga. But the Saiyan saga, certainly the Frieza saga. I don't want to see another goddamn second of Namek in my fucking life. I'm so sick to death of Namek. I'm sick to death of that saga.
Well, then you're gonna be disappointed because we will absolutely be going back there.
No, I'm sure we will, and I'll hate it because it's awful. It's boring. Like it was the same thing when there was another.
I'm not gonna argue with you about this.
There was another Dragon Ball game that they released recently. They released a title for it, and it was once again we're doing the Saiyan saga again, and it was like, oh my god, who cares? Like who cares? Like we've done this 100 times. Like, maybe the only way I could possibly ever be interested in doing the Saiyan saga again is maybe if Cell showed up on Planet Namek. Then maybe I might be slightly interested in it. But until then, it's just going to be, you fight Zarbon, you fight the Ginyu Force, and then maybe one of the Ginyu Force gets swapped out. Oh no, now he's changed with Gohan, and he discovers Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, and now you're fighting Ginyu as Super Saiyan 2 Gag. Who cares? Like, oh no, we're doing Cell, and what if he absorbed Super Saiyan 1 Goku, and now he's got Super Saiyan 1 Goku's powers? Who cares? Like, what is there to be mined from that? There's nothing I care.
Like,
okay, Like, what if?
Like I want to have a Planet Namek where, for example, instead of Goku turning into Super Saiyan like normal, we have GT Goku is there, and he
Okay,
turns Super Saiyan 4.
and then he beats Frieza. Again, what is there to be different story wise to be mined there? Like other
I
than
mean,
some.
he's a completely different character.
Not,
Yes, he is.
not really.
Yes, he
Not
is.
really. In
Yes,
terms of
he
like,
is.
I'm not talking like if we're talking an anime. All right, yeah, I'd love a what if anime but we're talking a video game where okay, you turn to Super Saiyan 4 and you beat up Frieza, and it's easier to beat up Frieza. It's just gameplay wise, there's nothing really to be gained from this section. I'd much rather them
Yeah.
spend
I don't
more.
agree.
Cut the Saiyan saga. Never go
No,
back there again.
I mean, they're never going to do
Hold on,
that.
let
So
me
this
finish.
this is a pointless
Let me finish.
conversation.
Cut the Saiyan saga. Cut the Frieza saga. And cut the Cell saga. Don't do any missions there. Don't go back there at all. There's no reason to go back there. We have no reason to go back there. And instead, go back to the Buu saga more. Go back to GT more. Go back to Super more. Don't do Dragon Ball Z in this one. Don't even touch Dragon Ball Z. Just do Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah,
And
it's never going to happen.
Give
So
me dedicated and effort put into like changing. Yeah, I would absolutely don't mind doing 100 missions of the battle. Well, the battle gods is different because they battle the gods is in Xenoverse too. But like the tournament of power or like the why are there so many tournaments in fucking Super? Like you said, the Morrow arc, having Mira Toa go back to helping King Piccolo, and now you're fighting up a juiced up King Piccolo, and that to me is as unexplored areas of the franchise. We have gone to we did 2 games of multiple 50 to 60 parallel quests of those three same sagas because it's all they know how to do, and it's so dull. Like, no, I don't need various combinations of doing this. If yeah. In my ideal world,
we're going to have to agree to disagree.
I just I don't understand how you could. I don't understand how you could because it's so boring. Like if they went back to the Saiyan Saga for the 100th time and that's all they did again, I'd be like, and then they put in a half-ass effort into the sagas that I'm actually interested in. I'm gonna be like, what's the point?
Again, no, I don't want them to put a half-ass effort into any of it. I want them to start from Dragon Ball and go through it all.
Never gonna do that. They're never gonna do that. So it's gonna be about what gets cut and what should get cut. Like I'd much rather them do all the sagas from Dragon Ball and never ever touch the Saiyan saga ever again.
I want them to do it all. No. So.
Oh, again, maybe not never again, but 10-year more.
I want them to do it all.
I am instituting a 10-year moratorium on any Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball game from doing the Saiyans. If I was in charge,
and I'm telling you that will never happen.
If I was in charge, that would be my
yeah,
decree.
but it will never happen.
I'd be like, no more saying. No, we don't know. We don't know that it'll never happen. You don't know. Again, I'm not saying don't include those characters. Like include the characters in the story in some capacity. Like if you pull Cell from the Cell saga and you dump him in another segment of like if you dump him into the Golden Frieza arc. And he shows up to help Golden Frieza. That to me is fun. That's interesting. That hasn't been done before. Like to go back to the Cell saga and the Frieza saga. It's those sagas in particular. Those first 2 games are so obsessed with them. Like every single parallel quest is the Saiyan saga. There's like 50 parallel quests. I'm exaggerating, but there's like a
or like a way that I would another way that I would go back to certain sagas like from the Android saga and stuff like that. For example, is I would make it where let me finish, please. I would make it where in this one, Bulma and whatever the Goku's descendant's name is, they use their time machine instead of it being Toa and please stop shaking your head until I finish.
No.
Instead of it being Toa and Mira who are going back and changing time, I would make it where in this game, with the best of intentions, it's Bulma who keeps doing it. And so she goes back to, for example, the Cell saga and changes Cell in Jiro's basement so that he's now a good guy. And it completely changes the nature of that arc.
Again,
and we have to keep time as it's supposed to be, or like, there's other ideas, but like, yeah,
No
Stuff like
interest.
that.
Not one ounce
Well,
of
you're no
an
fun
interest.
then.
Because I don't have an interest in
That's
seeing.
I'm just giving you a completely different scenario.
Don't. That doesn't interest me. It doesn't interest me seeing people.
Then you're no fun.
There's plenty of other areas of this franchise that we have not done in
Yeah,
video
and I
game
want to
form.
do those too.
Yeah, but I'd much rather not do the thing that we've done 100 times and spend more effort on the thing that we haven't done. Like, yeah, we don't.
I would
don't
rather
need
that
Bulma
I
to go
would rather
back to
that they
the-
spent the 12 years that they kept putting out DLCs for Xenoverse 2 to have also been working on this and have it all done well.
Yeah, I don't. There's nothing you could say
Okay,
that could
well,
make me
move on
interested in going back.
Move on then, because I mean, we're gonna go back to those. So
Maybe not. Maybe
there's
not.
never been a Dragon Ball
Maybe
game that's
not.
come out where they have not gone
Maybe
back
not.
to that.
Maybe not.
So
Maybe
no,
not.
I'm sorry, Justin.
I'm holding out hope. I'm holding out hope that certainly. I don't.
Because it's their bread and butter. They're always going to go back to the thing that
Because-
everybody knows.
Because they're so lazy and it's awful and it's not. It stopped again. It stopped being fun. If they wanted to go back to those sections, they just. What's the point in doing a third one? What's the point in doing the third one? That's my thing. If we want to go back to the Cell Saga or the Saiyan Saga and have different characters, it's not going to be on a new engine. It's going to be on the same engine, and it's just going to be going back to the Cell Saga or the Saiyan Saga or the Frieza Saga. We're gonna have to do Captain Ginyu again. We're gonna.
Why
have
are you
to
being
do...
such a bummer, man?
Because I've already done this shit. It's been like 20 years.
This is great news that we're getting Xenoverse 3,
Right.
and you're being a bummer.
Because I'm
You're poo-pooing on a game that I'm excited for.
I'm not poo-pooing on it. I'm saying
Yes, you
I'm
are.
saying moratorium on the sections of it.
And I'm saying no. Let's do new things.
Yeah, exactly. But you're not.
Let's
You're
do
not
it.
saying
Let's
do new things.
Yes, I am. I'm saying let's do it where Bulma goes back and changes time.
That's not doing a new thing. That's repainting.
Yes, it is.
That's repainting the same thing they've already done. They've already
it's
done.
not.
They've already done that. They've already done
No, they
something to go
haven't.
back and try to change the Cell Saga so this happens instead of this. Like,
Yeah, then they were bad guys. It was bad guys trying to go and stop. No.
Because
No, man.
it just turns
I
into
disagree.
okay, now I have to fight a new guy, and then it just becomes a jungle.
Yeah, that's
of
how
the jungle.
that's how video games work, dude.
Yeah, but in terms of story, we could explore different parts of the franchise. for
Yes,
once.
and we should do that too.
Yeah. No, not interested.
Whatever,
no,
man.
thank you.
Whatever.
No.
All right, you don't have to play the game
No, thank
So-
you.
when it comes out.
No,
You don't
thank
have
you.
to play it.
Much rather a dedicated game like that. That's why I started to get bummed out when they started to dip too hard into Super, because I'm like, no, because that just means that we're gonna get less dedicated versions of this in Xenoverse 3. Like half the time when they did Super DLC in Xenoverse 2, it was so half-assed because all they wanted it to do was do Frieza again. Or do Cell. No, it's just Frieza. They just always want to do Frieza again. And I'm so tired. Again, maybe if they hadn't done Black Frieza, I would be like, oh yeah, okay, yeah, sure. I wouldn't mind seeing another version.
That has nothing.
Well, no, because it's his presence in the franchise. It's more than anything. It's Frieza. I'm sick to death of Frieza. Stop going back to the. If any of them, if I have to keep.
But again, you're holding that against the game. That's not the game's fault.
No, but it's what I'm saying is I'm not holding it against the game. I'm saying don't do that.
You
Don't
are.
do that.
You are
Don't.
holding. You are holding.
I'm
it
holding
against
it
the
against
game.
all Dragon Ball
You're
games.
stopping. You're stopping them from going back to things and doing new things
Yes,
and trying new
yes,
things.
but it's not trying new
So
things. It's
it is.
repackaging old things.
No,
It's
it's
not
not.
trying new things.
You're gatekeeping, dude.
But I'm not gatekeeping. I'm
You
saying
are.
I'm saying be more creative and
You're
stop
saying
going back to a well.
don't go. You're saying don't go back and change things in the old stuff.
Don't go back
because
there.
I-
Period. There's no need. There's no
man.
need to go back
Well,
there.
they're going to.
And
So
then
your feelings are irrelevant.
at a certain point, it becomes like, okay, so wait, why aren't all the versions of them running? If they're all going back to a different version of the same event over and over again.
Because as you know, that's not how time travel works in Dragon Ball.
Like it's just
Every time you go back to a different, you go back to
I
the
don't
past.
know.
You're going back to a different
I'm just
past.
not excited for assuming that this gameplay is similar in any way to the previous ones. I'm just not excited for another 10 parallel quests of doing the Saiyan Saga. But now Bulma is there changing time. I'm not excited to do 10 parallel quests. I love those games. I'm not excited to do another 10 parallel quests
I mean, to be
of the
fair,
Cell Saga.
there's nothing in this trailer that we've seen which indicates that time travel is
Like
still a thing in this
it
at
would
all.
it would have
So,
to be it would have to be
like we didn't see again, I say we didn't see Trunks. We didn't see anything of the Time Patrollers.
yeah,
We didn't see the Supreme Time. We didn't see the Time
but
Nest or
but they,
anything
they,
that tells us. Let me finish. We didn't see anything that tells us that time travel is
I
still a
mean,
thing in these
it's
games.
I'm gonna operate under the assumption that it is just because it's Xenoverse, but you
It's got
can't
the Xenoverse title,
you
but there's
can't
nothing to tell us
tell
that they're
me that
doing the same.
you're excited about doing another 10 parallel quests of Vegeta. Vegeta is there
I
with
am if
Namek,
they change things enough. If they do
but
major
they're
changes,
not
yes, I
going
am.
to. That's the
You
thing.
don't know that.
It's a Dragon Ball video game. I just you're giving it probably more credit. I'm picturing myself sitting here playing Xenoverse 3 and being on the fifth parallel quest where it's just another version of I show up to the Saiyan Saga fight and oopsie poopsie, now this character shows up and interrupts the whole thing and then I gotta fight
I
them
mean,
and then
yes,
I gotta
that's
save.
Xenoverse, dude.
But
That's what makes
but
those games what they
but
are.
I'm just saying,
You're poo-pooing on the game. That is the game.
right.
Clearly, you don't like the
Well,
game.
no, I like it like when we're doing in the later games where the parallel quests are now like no, it's fine in Xenoverse 2 because it's Xenoverse 2. But like I'm way more interested in okay, I'm doing 10 parallel quests of dedicated parallel quests to say the I wish I could I keep wanting to say Tournament of Power, but that's an example. But of um
See, I'm not excited to do the Tournament of Power. The Tournament of Power is boring.
but it's
Like,
different.
that's boring.
It's different. It's
Yeah, but it's boring.
different.
It's just a fucking tournament.
But it's different
What do you change there? You make it so that there's like four different fighters instead of the ones that are there.
yeah, but
Like
uh, again, but there's different.
I'd rather we go back to Z and we include like for example the other world tournament.
That okay, that's different. Yes, that I'm into. That I'm into because
Like include some of the things from Z
yes,
that you haven't necessarily
yes.
done.
See that I'm into.
But you're saying don't go back to Z at
No,
all.
I said don't
I'm
go.
saying
No,
I'm saying
that's not what
yes
I said
you
at
did.
all. I
Yes,
said don't.
you did. You said there's a memorial on
The Saiyan
fucking Saiyan
Saga,
Saga, Cell Saga, but I'm saying there are things there that they haven't done in the games
like
that
more
were in the
moratorium
anime.
on the Saiyan Saga, on the Frieza Saga, and on the Cell Saga.
No, I don't agree.
Those three sagas, got them.
I don't
Don't
agree.
go back there. But
I think that there are things from there that you can do that haven't been done.
but I don't necessarily disagree with you that like yeah man, go to the Carlick Jr. arc, do some of the movies, like do and like the Majin Buu saga has so much untapped potential that they never touch. Like do the Majin Buu saga, yeah. Instead of being like, what if Cell absorbed the 13th different version? Let's do what if Majin Buu managed to get a hold of Goku. Like that to me that is different. They haven't done that yet. I haven't seen that yet. They haven't that part of the
I mean, I would do
underexplored.
if I was changing, doing a time travel change in the Majin saga, I would have it be what if Piccolo was taken over by Babidi and not
Yeah,
Vegeta.
and not Vegeta. That's a great idea. That's different. That isn't like, what if we did the Ginyu Force again, but this time Ginyu took over Krillin? Who cares? Like, who cares?
That's where I
we've
disagree.
plumbed that depth.
I find those fun.
But
like
we've
those.
done them to death. That's my point. My point
But
is
I would
we've
also,
done
but
them
I would
to
also,
death.
I would also be like if you're gonna go back to Dragon Ball Z, include characters from Super. So like I would have it be where you say what would you change about and you're gonna be like no. But like if you like for me, if you're gonna do like okay the Goku vote versus Frieza fight on Namek, Beerus shows up. That's the difference. That's the big change.
I'm not against the. Okay, here's my problem, right? And it's not. It's Xenoverse 2's fault. If Xenoverse 2 hadn't overstayed its welcome by like a bajillion fucking years, it'd be a completely different conversation. If this had been announced 5 years ago and they hadn't done 50 different DLCs of the same 3 sections of that show, I'd be like, sure, but they have, and it's not interesting anymore. Like they've done a bunch
And
of
then don't play this game.
like I'm but that's my thing is I would love this game if they focused on sections of the yeah, you're right, if they went back and they did what the Princess Snake section, or like they put any amount of focus on Goku on King Kai's planet, or if they tapped into sections of the franchise that we haven't seen yet. Like it doesn't have to be.
Yeah, see what you're saying is you want Kakarot too. That's what you want.
Yes, but I want them to fuck with time. I want it to involve time travel. I want them to go back and fuck with these moments that we haven't seen before, like 100 times. Like, no, I don't. Like, yeah, like maybe not the entire Saiyan saga, but the big moments. I don't really want to do Big Ozaru, Vegeta again. I don't want to do the Ginyu Force fights again. I don't want to do Goku versus what's his face? I'd much rather.
I do if they make major changes, and that's the thing that's the thing that you're not listening to though. Is I'm like, no, I don't want minor changes. I don't want to do the fight with a Ginyu Force, but you change one menu or one member. I want to do the fight with the Ginyu Force, but like go like Krillin and them are strong enough, and they kill most of them, and like see the fallout from that. I want Sparking Zero. I want the alternate scenes from Sparking Zero where we go down the timeline further and see the repercussions of these changes.
See, those were I want the only that is fair. The only way I would tolerate the Saiyan Saga or the Frieza Saga is if it was a dedicated what if game, which this just isn't going to be. Like this is not going to be that. They're not going to change it.
Again, I wouldn't be surprised if this steps away from the time travel.
But also,
stuff.
it would be kind of neat to do a game where it's like it sort of seems like they want to move in the direction of just having the powers and using original characters.
I suspect.
Which it looks like
I suspect, or I could believe, that this is essentially going to be their new Dragon Ball Online, and there won't be the time travel stuff. And you'll just go on adventures and storylines in the present day.
Like, I'm far more interested in a story where it's a wholly original story. They don't touch anything from anything, and it just involves the characters. So like it's like as much as I dogged on Fighters is probably my favorite Dragon Ball fighting game because it has an original story. Like one of my favorite Dragon Ball games of all time is a game called Shin Budokai, where it's you play as Trunks, and it's basically it's a different version of when he showed up in Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
And he references how he beat Majin Buu.
Yeah.
It's basically that. Majin Buu, you play as Trunks, and Majin Buu shows up when he would have showed up in the original timeline, but now only Trunks is there, and you fight, and it's a completely original story.
I think I've played that.
You should have.
Sounds familiar.
You should have. We owned it at one point on PSP.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah,
so you definitely at some point played.
There was a second one.
But to me, that is like an entire like Sparking Zero, where it's like, oh my god, this is agonizingly tedious doing the fucking Saiyan Saga for the 100th fucking time. The only parts of this, but it's like I'm. My first thing is no, I don't really need to see an alternate unless they're doing something majorly different, and they're never gonna do that. I could care absolutely. If you're gonna do a modestly different version of a thing, yeah, I'd much rather go back to the Otherworld tournament is a great section. That is a great section to explore, to do something with, to do something different with. They never do the Otherworld tournament ever.
And then they could then they could because technically it's not canon.
Still, they put non-canon characters in those games.
That's where I was gonna say it would be a great way to finally show us the canon version of the Grand Kai.
Yeah, like I'm not against all of Dragon Ball. I'm just against the 3 sagas they do all the time. Like every single game they
And
do
see,
it.
that's
They're
where we
they're
disagree.
so boring.
I'm okay with going back to those if you do major
Yeah, they have to
changes.
be
That's the only way I want
major.
to, is if you do major
They've
changes.
never, and they
Like
just
major
like even the
changes.
what ifs in Sparking Zero are not drastic enough for me to be like, oh, I'm interested in this. They're amusing, but they
I
don't
was
intrigue me in any sense of the
I
word.
was, because like only for the ones where in that game specifically, only for the ones where we kept going down the timeline and seeing the differences.
Like
Like that's my one complaint about Xenoverse and Xenoverse 2 is when they show us like they show us like a 30-second glimpse of like what's going to happen if things go wrong in the scenarios. And to me that's not enough. If you're going to change time, I want more. I want to see what
like just
happens.
as an example, it's like, oh, what if we did Captain Ginyu, but Captain Ginyu took over Vegeta? Is not interesting. It's just not interesting. It's just not like, and multiple Dragon Ball games have thought that this was a clever idea, and it's not. It's not a clever idea. It's just you fighting Captain Ginyu again. There's
Now that
nothing
being
really all
said,
that different about it.
if they did a thing where it was like, oh, Captain Ginyu took over Frieza,
Okay, that would be
could
kind of interesting.
that could be
That
interesting.
could be theoretically interesting, but these are ideas that are not interesting in a video game because it's like, no, it's not really. You're just fighting Frieza again, and he's got Captain Ginyu's voice. Like these are ideas that are like small ideas are interesting in an animated form. Like if you did a show where it was a what if show, then that would be interesting. But in terms of an actual gameplay, it's like, no, I'm just fighting Frieza on Namek while voice clips that sound like Captain Ginyu play, and it's just. I'd much rather do Golden Frieza. And what if Ginyu showed up and body swapped with Goku during Golden
Or
Frieza?
or
That's
that would be
different.
another
That's unique.
that
That's
that
interesting.
that would be another way that I would change the Frieza saga. Is I would have it Goku goes Super Saiyan and then Frieza goes Golden Frieza.
I'm just not interested in that. Like, yeah, like if you did the Golden Frieza saga from Super and you actually paid it more than lip service and included some of
See,
the
I guess
characters
that's
from
the
that.
difference. That's the difference between you and me is I don't like Super. I don't want them to do Super. I don't like Super.
I
I think
Yeah, but
it's a
it's
bad
different.
show.
Yeah, but this is again. It's not has nothing to do with the show. It's purely the
It
fact that
does
it's a
because that's
video
what you're
game.
doing. You're doing the show.
No, but
When you
but
do those scenes, you're just doing the show, but
yeah,
slightly different. And I don't like Super.
yeah. But that's my thing. Is like with Dragon
So
Ball
I'm not
Z,
that
I've
excited to go
seen
and
it
do stuff
so
from it.
many times that I don't need to see it again. I'd much rather see something I haven't seen
Then
rather
go
than
play
see.
another game.
But that's my point. Is this franchise is big enough that you can do stuff that doesn't involve. Obviously, they're not gonna because everyone knows it's what sells. It's the greatest hits. They're always gonna play the greatest hits. And yeah, at a certain point, I don't really need to see the greatest hits. I don't want to see the greatest hits. This is your opportunity to be unique and different. But you're right. I really do think it looks like the gameplay mechanic is going to be you have a little wristband and it's an RPG style thing where you gain abilities based on Dragon Ball Z characters, and the Dragon Ball Z characters will probably take place like in the narrative, but they probably won't be playable, and it'll be mostly focused on the customizable characters because that's the direction they wanted to
I
go
mean,
with in
that's what they
Xenoverse 2.
did. Yeah, that's what they do in every one of these Xenoverse games.
Yeah, but
So
there's
that's
going to be a less focus on.
you never play as the main
No, but
character.
I mean like you could play them in the multiplayer sections. I don't think there's gonna
Yeah, and
be.
that'll be the case here. It'll be the
I don't
same
know.
thing.
I don't think so. I don't.
We'll find
Yeah.
out.
My big final point of this is, if you're not good, why do Z? I think you're right. I think this is gonna be Xenoverse in name only because
Yeah.
why do Xenoverse? If they hadn't done
If it's just the same as the last two.
right, they've done 12 years of DLC that people keep buying for Xenoverse 2. Why would they make a new one? They have no reason to. The support for this game is still going strong. It still makes a boatload of money. Why move
Yeah,
on?
but I mean again, they're not making any new DLC for that. That's why.
Well,
Is
no,
so
they
that
stopped making DLC for it
you
so they
can
could make
sell
it.
you can sell it as a new thing and spend or charge more money for this.
Yeah, but that's
That's
why
why.
they're not making new DLC because they're making this. What I'm saying is, why make this and why not just continue to make DLC? Like there's
because they can charge more for this. Instead of
uh,
charging like $20 for a DLC pack, they can charge $90 for a full for a full game. It,
yeah, but this again, this game $90 for a full game that people might not necessarily buy. You know, people will buy Xenoverse 2, are buying Xenoverse 2, and will buy DLC. It's
and
a
so that's why they know people will buy
but
Xenoverse 3
I don't think.
because they want their fix and they're not going to get it in Xenoverse 2 anymore.
Well, that's the thing is, have they said that they're not supporting Xenoverse 2
They're
anymore?
not making any more
No,
DLC.
but are they still supporting it?
That doesn't matter. My point is that there's
No,
nothing
of
new
course it
coming.
matters. No, but that
No,
doesn't. That does.
nothing new is coming. So if the people that are playing that game want new stuff, they have to
No,
buy the new
but
game.
that's not.
And they will.
But that's not how games like that are community based. So long as there's online support for Xenoverse 2, people will still show up and play it. They'll play it until they
Right.
start shutting down
But the
servers.
company wants more money, and so they will make a new game, and then the people will go to that
But
game
no,
because
that's what
it's the next
that's
one.
what I'm saying is they not necessarily. They no,
Yes, I'm saying that's what will happen.
no, 'cause that doesn't always happen.
Yes.
Hold on, let me finish. That doesn't always happen. Like in the
Well,
case
it's going
of
to
like,
here.
I don't think it will because
I do.
people played like Dragon Ball Online for years until that game no longer has support, like online support, like until they start shutting down servers, people will still they'll be like, I'm not paying for Xenoverse 3 when Xenoverse 2 works just fine, and they'll keep supporting it. So and they'll keep buying the old DLC so long as there is online support for it. So that's why I'm asking: is there going to be continued online support? Do you know? I guess I'll phrase it that way. Do you know? Is there going to be continued online support? Have they said anything? I have not seen anything myself. Are you Googling it?
Trying to.
Fair enough. While you Google that, I'll move on to the next story. Because that will be the question. If there's not going to be continued support of it, then you're right. They will absolutely migrate to Xenoverse 3. But if there's still continued online support, they will not. Not in droves. Not enough for it to be a worthwhile risk. Like if you get again.
All I can see is that it says the game is concluding its long run with final updates, including Future Saga Chapter 4, which is expected to wrap up major new paid DLC through, though free updates may continue.
Oh, so they are still supporting it. Interesting. Interesting.
Well, it says may
May
continue.
continue because that if they're continuing to support it with online servers, that says that this is probably not going to be a sequel to Xenoverse 2. That there's not going to be as much. Maybe they're looking to make this a predominantly single player experience. We don't know, but that is interesting. That is interesting.
Well, I mean, yeah, like I said, from Final Thoughts, which has been the one that I've said a few times, where I'm like, everything that I've seen in this trailer, nothing indicates to me that it doesn't feel like a Xenoverse game.
But then again, this would be an entirely separate conversation if Xenoverse 2 hadn't been supported for how long? 2014, right? 12 years. It's been supported for 12 years. That is a 12-year-old game. They are still supporting. Why? It's its own industry at this point. There's no reason to.
I mean, the reason why is because it's a fucking cash cow.
I know why they're still running it. People still pay for it idiotically. But why move on now?
It originally released October 25th, 2016.
Okay, so not quite 12 years. So 10 years. It's a 10-year-old
10
game.
years.
10 years. So it's a 10-year-old. That's still ridiculous. That they've been supporting with DLC and shit. That is incredibly profitable. And updates. Free updates in some cases. That's incredibly lucrative. That's what I'm looking for. It's an incredibly lucrative sub-franchise of a larger franchise. Why move on to a game that you don't necessarily know whether or not people are going to move on? That's what's interesting to me.
Here's what it appears like to me. And this might just be me reading things that aren't there. Who could say? But this is how it reads to me. First trailer comes out. It's called it refers to itself as something year 1000 or something like that.
Project something
But
something.
Project 1000 something like that doesn't refer to itself as Xenoverse 3. Fans see it. Fans are like, "Oh my god, this is definitely Xenoverse 3, right? We're finally getting Xenoverse 3. Oh my god, we're getting Universe 3." And show an immense interest in it being Xenoverse 3. Company C's reaction is like, "Oh shit, this wasn't supposed to be Xenoverse 3. maybe if we slap that on there, we'll sell more.
I don't know that
Slap
it
it
will,
on there,
though.
slap it on there, and it was never meant to be Xenoverse
I
3.
don't know that it just having the name Xenoverse 3 will make it sell better.
Because like the thing is that when I watched that trailer, there's nothing in there that even remotely calls back to Xenoverse in any way.
Other than the music.
But like in terms of story, in terms
Other
of
than
the
the
characters
music.
that we see, because like in Xenoverse 2, the like it's in terms of the story, I mean, Bulma never really interacts with the time
Nope.
people.
Nope. No, she doesn't.
Um, like I know she technically is in Tauntaun City, but like that's his like bonus stuff.
Yeah, I know. She's not there.
Um,
She does not participate in the story as a member of Canton City.
um, and
That's definitely not Canton City.
yeah, and so there's nothing in that trailer which says to me this was planned to be
Also, it doesn't look
Xenoverse.
like it's an evolution. Like, oh, this is the next stage of the Time Patrollers. They look like they're
Well,
their
I mean,
own.
they don't call themselves time patrollers.
No, but like, think it could be like, oh, the Saiyan Warrior Patrol is an evolution of the Time Patrollers, and they just have a different name.
Sure, but I'm just saying with what we see,
No, that's what I'm saying.
there's
There's nothing that indicates that they're
nothing.
an evolution of the Time Patrollers. Right?
Yeah,
They're their own set of group of guys.
which just tells
The only
again
real connection to it is that it takes place in
maybe
like a futuristic style city.
again which to me and but like it being the Saiyan patrol or whatever. Yeah, that just reads to me like Bulma formed her own patrol people because the colors and scheming of the outfits just look like the Great
Great
Saiyan
Saiyan
Man.
Man, exactly. Yes,
I
exactly.
said that. I said that right from the first time I saw it.
Yeah. There's a connection to the fact that they all look like they're dressed like the outfit they change into is just the Great Saiyan Man. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Anyway,
And
this has
so
gone far
yeah,
too long.
my suspicion is that this in its original incarnation wasn't
Jordan, the
Xenoverse 3,
second game,
which is why they continue to support the second one
the
is because they weren't planning on stopping.
yeah, that would make sense. Jordan, as Dragon Ball Z Xenoverse 2 has been out for 10 years, we had to talk about it for 10 years. Moving on. Um,
That'd be a YouTube short.
it's probably going to be a YouTube video. Are you excited? Holy, it's no. I'm torn between. As you were finishing your final thoughts, I was torn between. I'm sitting there being like, what am I going to title the video? uh, are you excited for Xenoverse 3 or holy shit, they're making Xenoverse 3?
No, obviously the title of the video should be Justin doesn't want to go back to certain parts of Dragon Ball, and here's why.
Yeah, but it needs to have Xenoverse 3 in the title.
In Xenoverse 3, Justin doesn't want to go back to certain parts of Dragon Ball Z, and here's why.
Hey there, everybody. It's NCard Justin here. Let me know down in the comments below. Are you excited for Xenoverse 3? What your thoughts are on Xenoverse 3? What would you add? What would you change? What would you do the same? Let me know what you're thinking down in the comments down below. But in the meantime, if you'd like to see the full podcast that this is from, our weird stuff on Disney and Hulu special, click the box on the left. Or if you just want to see a random video that YouTube thinks you're going to enjoy, click the box on the right. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. We put new videos out 7 days a week. Or you can just leave this video a like. That helps us out too. We'll see you all in the next video. Have a good day, everybody.